Draymond Green is genuinely one of the most interesting players in my lifetime. Outside of Steph Curry, you could literally argue this man was the driving force behind the success of the Golden State Warriors. His presence was huge, and his career achievements are really off the charts. He's racked up the championships, has the All-Star appearances, he was on the All-NBA defensive team 8 times, and also won a Defensive Player of the Year. This man is arguably a Hall of Famer, but the wildest part about all of this is that he was able to do all of this successful stuff while being the definition of a role player. In fact, I would argue that he would be a bench player on the majority of the NBA teams that he played on if it wasn't Golden State. He would be average at best, but the fit between him and Golden State is literally perfect. A match made in heaven. And this is a long way of me saying that this man was able to drive away Kevin Durant and Jordan Poole and live to see another day is borderline the craziest thing I've ever seen before. You could actually make a solid argument that due to Draymond being Draymond and his antics caused the Warriors to leave multiple championships on the table. And it obviously all starts with Kevin Durant's departure from the team. And Kevin Durant made it pretty clear that Draymond was one of the main reasons why he left the franchise.
Just to be clear, because I don't recall the answer to this question. Did that play a role in you leaving Golden State?
A little bit, yeah, for sure. I mean, your teammate talked to you that way, you think about it a bit, but we talked, like I said, we talked about it, but definitely, for sure, I'm not gonna lie about it.
End of the day, it doesn't make full sense to just do a deep dive into the drama between the two, because that drama isn't what the video is about. But for context, Draymond Green basically verbally calls out Kevin Durant to the media, on social media, or yells at him on the court. Then the two would get into multiple altercations, whether it's on the court or in the locker rooms. Basically, at the time, the two just hated each other. And this drama just kept happening over and over again.
Have you and Draymond been able to hash anything out?
Nah.
As the time passes and the dust settles, they decide to say, let bygones be bygones. Both Kevin Durant and Draymond decided to bury the hatchet and apparently are on good terms now. But you can't say the same thing about Jordan Poole.
Have you heard from Draymond?
If I was a Warriors fan, and I'm not, I don't think I could ever forgive Draymond Green for this. This man drives out one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the sport. He just said, get out of town, and somehow is still on the Warriors. I just can't get around the fact that they chose Draymond Green over Kevin Durant. Absolutely insane. Then it would happen again with Jordan Poole. But I want to make this clear. I am not saying Jordan Poole is even close to the player that Kevin Durant is, because he's not. But Jordan is a good young foundational piece that the Warriors could have used for the future. But with the Draymond Green incident where he assaulted Jordan Poole, Poole's confidence was completely shot, and Poole wasn't the same player as he was the year before. Because if you remember, Poole was a pretty big piece of them winning a championship the year before. And ultimately, the Warriors needed to make a decision to either sign Draymond Green or trade Jordan Poole. And they obviously chose Draymond Green, as they always do. And they signed him to a $100 million contract. I'm not even saying this isn't the right decision. I'm just pointing out the fact that it's literally fascinating that the Warriors always side with Draymond Green over all these players. For better or for worse, they're always siding with Green. It just seems pretty wild that you would rather have a borderline above average player to a historically great player on the team, but you ride out the great player because the average player doesn't like him very much. Kind of weird. And to add gasoline on this, Draymond Green would actually admit that if he didn't do that to Jordan Poole, they would have made a farther run.
We're not playing right now because when you speak about the fouling, all of the slippage that we had as a team on the road, not being able to come together, none of those things happen if that doesn't happen.
And then during the year would say this about Kevin Durant.
I don't think the outside world gave Kevin enough credit. I think if you came within our organization, Kevin was given all the credit. But the reality is I don't think that team wins another championship if Kevin doesn't come.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that he can look himself in the mirror. You gotta give him some respect, right? But what I ask is, at what cost? You could make an argument that this Warriors team could literally have 2 more championships at least if Kevin Durant stayed. And potentially another competitive team for the future would Poole. But now they move Poole for an aging Chris Paul with a very interesting fit on the team. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a video for a different day. And now they only have like 1 more swing at a championship with this old guy Chris Paul. But with Poole, it seemed like they had the next stars on the team. But ultimately, like I said, they side with Draymond Green. What a crazy situation.